Padmashri Satish Alekar is a Marathi playwright, actor and theatre director, a founder member of the Theatre Academy of Pune, and mostly known for his plays such as Mahanirvan, Mahapur, Miki Ani Mem Sahib, Begum Barve, and more. He has collaborated in several international play translation projects. The Tisch School of Arts at New York University invited him in 2003 to teach a course on Indian theatre. The Department of Theatre and Film Studies, University of Georgia, invited him in 2005 to direct an English production of his play Begum Barve. Some of his plays have been translated and produced in Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, Dogri, Gujarati, Rajasthani, Punjabi, and Konkani. His plays have been included in the national anthologies published in 2000 to 2001 by the National School of Drama and Sahitya Akademi, Delhi. He is the recipient of several national and state awards for his contribution to the field of theatre. He is the recipient of several national and state awards for his contribution to the field of theatre and literature. As he is considered among the most influential and progressive playwrights in modern Marathi and Indian theatre, let's welcome Padmashri Satish Alekar in tonight's Star Darbar. Hello everyone, this is me, Raagiiniis, with your favorite show, Star Darbar. How is everybody? I do believe that you guys are doing really well and waiting for us when we are going to come with someone very special like we do every week. Yes, of course, tonight we are really blessed to have someone very special from Marathi theatre. Yes, and he is none other than the writer, the director, and the actor from Marathi theatre, Satish Alekar ji, Padmashri Satish Alekar ji. Namaste Satish ji, how are you? And I hope all is well. All right, we just started with a hi, but I think this session is going to go more than that, and we're all waiting for you to say and share your thoughts and your visions with our viewers, my viewers. The first question I would love to ask you is that what made you become a playwright?
No, that's a very unusual experience because I was not into theatre. I never ever trained formally in theatre. I was teaching biochemistry for 26 years while writing my plays at the medical college. BZ Medical College in Pune, where I grew up. So it so happened that, but I am not a doctor. I am a biochemist, and it so happened that during the pre-medical year, I could not get the admission in the medical college. In those days, there were not private medical schools available for me to take the admission, so my medical admission was gone. So all my best friends have gone to the medical college or they went to IIT, and I remained alone. So that gave me a kind of a very depressed atmosphere. I became almost in depression, and I went and joined the chemistry class for the graduation. And I started going to the gym, and in a very well-known college I was in is a Ferguson College, which was established in 1984 by Deccan Education Society. It's on the near hill in Pune. So while going to the gym and coming back, I could see that in a amphitheater there is a theater rehearsal was going on for the Ganesh festival play was about to take place. So I just casually started attending the rehearsal, and the director of the play was our chemistry professor, Professor Alekar. And it so happened that the person who was doing the leading role, he ditched the play because he was offered the cricket captaincy of the Ferguson College. So cricket captaincy of the Ferguson College is more glamorous than acting in a play. So he just went away, and there was no one to do that role, and I was just sitting in the audience and watching the rehearsal. And my teacher pointed at me and you're just watching the rehearsal for many days. Why don't you come and try this role? So I went on the stage and started doing the dialogues. And that was a kind of audition, and I had to do that role. And that role, in a limited atmosphere, was quite successful. And whether it is successful or not, whether I acted good or not, that aside, but my depression has gone because I found my confidence back while acting in the play. Because whenever I say something dialogue, the audience was very quiet, and whenever I finish my dialogue, either audience will laugh or sit quiet. And I thought that was fantastic, and I am tuned with the audience. So that's why I gained my confidence back, and thereafter I became very theatre fan.
Yeah, that is truly amazing the way you have started. And I hope that my viewers, you are listening to this conversation, because the next question, because I'm going to ask him, is about. I always felt that I should ask this question to him, that when you are writing a script or a story, so how you started? Do you start like, I can say that, do you think that your thought will be more towards the character, or just to choose the story first, or or anything else that really help you to start with what you want to write? And also, how long it takes actually to finish something that maybe a story or maybe a script? So how long really takes to finish it?
To answer first question, that there is no fixed canons while writing a play. There is no kind of a written grammar or written rules that this particular method you have to follow while writing a play, because in art the rule doesn't count much. There is a certain kind of a understanding of the senior actors or people who have worked a lot in the theatre. They may share their experience with you, and you may take one or two things from their CV or their attempt to writing the play. That's all. But I don't think there is, and I came to the writing much later, because I first started acting in the play. Then I was doing the stage hand and lighting and designing, etc. And then I started writing. So immediately I was not. I was first started as acting in a career, and then I started writing. So there is no kind of just you have to have some things in your mind, and I usually go by my own instinct. I don't follow a particular rule or a particular pattern. As far as your second question is concerned, how much it takes? It depends. Some of my plays I have completed within a fortnight. Some of the play I completed in a week's time, or some may take a year or two to complete the play. So there is no hard and fast rule that you finish the play, because thing is that I do theatre in India. And in India, the art is not subsidized, so it's not a kind of that I have accepted the money. It's not a commissioned work I am doing. I'm doing it according to my wish. If I feel writing, I will start writing. If I don't feel writing, I don't write. So there is no kind of only there is a kind of a timetable when we enter into a drama competition. Then there is a casual, and I have to follow that timetable. But usually, I finish the play in time and hand it over to myself, because I direct my own plays.
Satish ji, I have a question here. I know that you are really a great writer, and you got so many awards for that. But in my mind, I'm thinking that do you work on one play at a time, or do you take several projects in your hand at a time?
So usually, I work on one play at a time. It's much easier, because otherwise it becomes a bit complicated thing.
How do you come up with the characters and their background stories?
It's very it's not a it doesn't function in a black and white terms, because every actor has got his own city in his mind, and that city is not realistic. Suppose I say that I grew up in Pune, and the backdrop of my plays is city of Pune, but that's my Pune, not what's Pune existing in the reality. So I may cut my city into two. I may reappropriate my city. I may reappropriate the locality, etc., and give the different names. So it is not the city that people would like to see in the reality. So we usually, the actors, the writers, they reappropriate their own city and their own experiences. They subvert their own experiences. For example, when I was very young, I wrote a play called Mahanirvan. The Mahanirvan is about death, and the narrator of the play is a stinking dead body. And that body is narrating the story of his death in a kirtan form. And why I came about this understanding of this play is because my house is located near crematorium. So whenever in the morning I come to the balcony of the house, I could see invariably one or two death processions going on along with the street. Death procession of different communities, and every community has got his own style of taking the dead body to crematorium, and the crematorium is located on the banks of the river, and my house is located nearby. So that's how the subject of death intrigued me.
What influenced you to your choice of setting a time?
Time, I invent the time also, because if you see, I hardly give my names to the characters. For example, the play I just read out before the invited audience here in New Jersey, you'll find there is no name given to the character. There is no surname given to the character. So my way of understanding the character and the theatrical time is very different. For example, I wrote a play in 1979, a play called Begum Barve. It deals about the gender identity and deals about the impersonator in the bygone era of Marathi Sangeet Natak or Marathi musical era, which ended when the films became talkie. In 1930 onwards, that era has ended, and it was very popular. That era was very popular from 1880 to 1900 and up to 2025. That was the golden period of Marathi traditional musicals. But when I writing about the play, I reappropriated and subverted that era. So there is no kind of a time as such, because there are no names given to the characters, and where they work, there's nothing. It is just the theatrical time. What matters to me is the theatrical time, and the play functions within a theatrical time.
And with this question, I want to ask you that how does this setting really help to build the story?
I always feel the play is about for the performance. I don't believe that the play people could read or people publish the play and then it will take its own course. But I am totally a theatre person because I founded the theatre group. I helped in founding the theatre group. I coordinated that theatre group for more than 25 years. And I have written the play, I have directed my own play. Sometime I acted in the play. Then I look after the group as a coordinator, as a producer, as an executive producer, right from the scratch. So it comes to me with a lot of responsibilities. After my playwriting is finished, actually the real work begins, because I have to search for the characters, I have to find the actors, then I had to find the rehearsal space and etc. and to mount the production, and I had to maintain that production. I take the play from one place to another place, and it's very challenging that my role doesn't end after the playwriting is over, because I'm totally engrossed in the entire all the parameters of the theatre.
Satishji, what is the most challenging play you have ever wrote, and why do you think it was challenging for you?
It's very difficult to discriminate amongst our one's own creativity. I find that every play is challenging. Every play has got a plus and minus point. Every play has got its play script has its own strength and the weaknesses. Only thing is that when play is been completed in a text form, I find this is the best play in the world, and I have to mount that production. But gradually I realize that there are the certain weakness in the script that I will have to keep in mind while writing the next text. So I find that every play which I have written is challenging in a way or other.
Who are some of your favorite playwrights?
My favorite playwright from India, in our tradition, Marathi has got a lot of tradition since 1842. From the past, I like playwright like Ram Ganesh Gadkari. Then I like the playwright like Diwakar, which their writing I use in my new script also. Then amongst the past contemporary, I like Vijay Tendulkar. Then I used to like G.P. Deshpande. And there is a lot of younger writers now available in Maharashtra, because I come from Maharashtra, and the language in which I write is Marathi. And Marathi has got a long history. The peculiarity of the Marathi theatre is that traditionally the Marathi theatre has remained the playwright centric. The playwright is always at the center. In a way, the theatre has been the playwright centric is a strength, and as well as in a way it is a weakness, because everything boils down among the playwriting thing. This is the good thing about it, and the bad thing about it is that the playwright is only important. The other parameters of theatre, like directors or actors, they have got a lot of things to learn. That is the weakness of the play. So among the contemporary, I feel that there are a lot of youngsters coming up, especially after 1990s. 1990s period is very interesting in India, because it is after the liberalization of the economy, or global economy has set in, and the things have markedly change. The materialistic change, technical change, also the sensibilities have changed after when economy has changed, and the digital space has come into effect gradually. So the youngsters have started addressing to this space and these sensibilities. So I'll find that a new dimension has come up in the contemporary theatre. That's why I like the contemporary writing as well.
Satish ji, if you don't mind sharing with my viewers and of course me, your favorite line from a play that you have written.
It's very difficult for me to choose a line. No, there are various lines. I don't know. ज्याचं जळतं त्याला कळतं.
Okay.
This is the line from my play Mahanirvan, because ज्याचं जळतं त्याला, I don't know how to translate exactly, but roughly it can be if someone's dear one dies, then only you will come to know the exact loss.
So, is there or are there any other art forms that really inspire you to do your work, such as maybe music, maybe dancing? Is there anything like that?
The music, I like I don't understand the classical music, but I like the classical music, and I find that it's very pure than rest of the art, and I find the classical music is very deep, and it has got a one has to be a very long understanding of nuances of the tunes. So I don't have that ear, but I try to cope up and I try to force myself to the various kinds of classical musicians, and they gave me inspiration, and I became very fresh. For example, Kumar Gandharva, his centenary has started just in 2 days' time. So his music has got a far more reaching complication, very enchanting for me, and it has got a very deep influence on me.
In 1969, you wrote and directed your first one-act play, that is Memory and then Bhajan. What was the reason behind? Was that anything going in your mind that you wanted to create something different, something new with maybe a new trend or style?
No, that's what the people feel. Whatever my instinct decide that time, I took that road. I never ever studied theatre, because I don't know, when I written a play, Mahanirvan, they used to call my play a black comedy. But I never know what is the black comedy and what is the difference between black comedy and white comedy. My instinct is to write the play for my theatre group and to stage it for the state drama competition. That was the simple goal available for me as an amateur theatre company person, because the theatre in our area of world is not subsidized, so there is no subsidy to the culture. So we have to work somewhere and come do the theatre in the evening, and it goes up. It's true for the entire pan India picture. So gradually, after my 3-4 one-act plays have been published in a very important literary magazine that time, and I was very young, and people are started taking notice of especially the critics started taking notice of my play, and they say that yes, there is a kind of a new sensibility is developing in his writing, and is kind of a there was a major article published that time, has absurd invaded Marathi theatre, and my plays have been my short plays have been named as a kind of a sample that through these things as absurdity is invading in Marathi theatre. That was the title of the essay which was published in Times of India in those days.
My friends, I think that you are really enjoying the way we are talking to Satish ji, and I think that this is our pleasure that we have him here tonight. But I think that tonight we have to say goodbye to all of you, because we have to come back with him again, because time is too tight, and I think that for us we really cannot go beyond this. So please stay tuned for next week, where we are going to ask Satish ji to come and sit with us again. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and yes, of course, I will be here with your favorite show, Star Darbar. Love you all.